Hello everybody. Trying to get myself together. Sorry guys. Hey. Hey y'all, I'm struggling. Sorry. Hi. How are you guys doing? So, I just got back from working out. I feel good about myself. Hey. Right, get myself together. What's happening? Like, seriously, what is really happening right now? Still crooked. All right, here we go. We good. Anyway, so, yeah, hey, boo. I just worked out. I feel really good about myself. I was like, let me scope, because it's been a couple days. Actually, it's been more than a couple days, but I wanted to kind of talk about, let me put this on. You always got issues in the car, LOL. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it be like that, or whatever. It's real life. That's what this is, real life. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about, like, you know, being a mother, a wife, and a millennial, and an entrepreneur is a lot sometimes, you know, and just trying to find, you know, a good healthy balance between all of that. Cause sometimes you know, it's a process, right? You got to kind of figure out, you know, first you got to figure out what's priority in your life. And then, you know, it's like, all right, focus on the priority. And then when you got that out the way, then you can focus on other things. But, like this week, it's been kind of a struggle for me because I started working out. Yesterday I met up with a friend, but I have like work to do. So I'm like, all right, but I got to pick up my kids up at 2. So I have like all morning, but you know, sometimes things come up, things happen. And I'm learning to like not beat myself up if I've set a deadline for myself and I don't meet that deadline. It's not going to necessarily make or break, but you know, it's like you set a deadline for yourself, you want to meet it, you know what I mean? But I sometimes struggle with condemning myself and being like, you ain't get that done. Why you ain't get that done? Like, oh, you suck. Like, trying to get over that can sometimes be very difficult. But just want to encourage anybody else who's married, or, you know, you're an entrepreneur, you have kids, or you're just juggling a lot of different things. You know, it's like a process in trying to balance them. And so at times something is going to fall to the wayside. Like, you can't focus on all those things at one time. So you got to prioritize. And that's something that I've been learning to do in the last couple months. And my home is first. Like, if my home is out of order, you're not gonna see me really doing a lot of work like on my business stuff. Like, I'm focusing on home, and if I'm not focusing on home, it's because I'm not able to at that time. But my husband, you know, he'll pick up the slack for me. So, but I'm very like, my house has to be in order. My house has to be clean. Like, my kids, homework got to be right. You know, they got to be doing their homework. And I'm very, very, very concerned about those things. So, you know, that's just my life. But what are some things that you guys wrestle with in terms of balancing life and having multiple things on your plate? Like, how do you balance it? Or are you doing well in balancing them all? Why is home your first priority? Well, because my family is priority. Like, where I believe, like, I live by the Bible. So one of the things that the Bible talks about for a woman is, you know, as a wife, your house is your priority. You take care of the home. Like, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to stay in the home, but you take care of your home. Like, as women, naturally, we're caretakers, right? And that's for a reason. So, it's important for my foundation to be on point. And, you know, just have order. Because when my home is out of order, then everything else is out of order. So, my husband needs to be right. You know, my kids, like, the house, all of that. And if you're not being a good steward over your home, and it's your home, whether it's your home or your car or whatever it is, anything that you own, if you're not being a good steward over it, it's going to be neglected. And I refuse to neglect my home. It's a priority for me, because it everything else falls in line when that is in order. So, Octavius, I hope that answers your question. But yeah, how do you guys wrestle through that? Or is it a wrestle? Do you have, your priorities in order? And, is it, do y'all even wrestle with that is my question. Octavius, since I know you're there. And Janelle, if you're still there. We've had these conversations before anyway. Amen. I'm writing my first book and I'm a minister. It's a hard balance. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, listen, I can't imagine writing a book. I'm trying to work on a book, but I did start, but I wrote a chapter. But that was like 3 months ago. So I gotta be consistent. After God and your family, if what the Lord wants you to focus on at the time, right? It's what the Lord wants you to focus on at the time, right? Absolutely. Like at all times. That's good though. Yeah, as a believer, well, of course, before my family is God, my relationship with the Lord. Better than nothing. Make that book happen. I know, right? I got a whole chapter. That chapter I really like it. I'm like, oh, I can't believe I wrote that. So I gotta finish. And I'm working on a recipe book too, which is easier. It's like, oh, that's easy. I already kind of have my recipes written down. So it's just kind of like compiling them and then using pictures and stuff. It's been 3 years on mine. Okay. Kept changing things, learning how to write. Look, at least you're working on it. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, girl. At least you're working on it and not neglecting it. We need to write. I know. I know. We do. I'm not a writer either though. I'm not a writer, but it's just been kind of flowing. When I start, it just flows. Well, Trish, you know my saying, do less, better, consistently. Exactly, absolutely. Do less, better, consistently. And that can mean something different for everybody, me, naturally, I'm a multitasker. Most women are multitaskers. However, you kind of have to be, right? Your mom, your wife, you have a business. But, amen, then being called in the ministry, I had to prioritize. Right, exactly. But, even in those things, there's still an order. As you're multitasking, I have to cook and I have to help my son with his homework. I'm multitasking. But both of those things are priority. He got to get his homework done and we got to eat, right? So just not having to do too much, because I'm not gonna start cooking, right? Leave my son in the kitchen to do his homework by himself and then go clean the room. That doesn't make any sense. So you gotta prioritize, right? The One Thing. Yes, The One Thing. This book called The One Thing by Gary. Ooh, I forget his last name. It's a really good book. I'm halfway through the book. I should be done with it. But it's such a good book. It's so convicting because he just talks about focusing on one thing at a time. One thing. Focus on this one thing. Get that done. Finish it. And if it's an ongoing thing, make sure you have it in place where you can step away from it and not have to put your hands on it and it's still working and moving. Then go to the next thing. Don't just be you got 5 businesses and only one is doing well or none are doing well. Gary Keller, there it is. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of time, and you're not doing yourself a good service. You're really messing yourself up because you're not focusing on that one thing and perfecting that one thing. So just like Octavia said, doing less, better, consistently. Listen. So, I'm always, I'm more prone to doing more. I'm always going to be wanting to do more. But I always have to, pull myself back and be like, all right, is this the best thing to do right now, or can I wait? Can I push it back? And I'd rather, systems are the best. Take the time to make effective. Absolutely. Systems, if you don't have a system, especially as an entrepreneur, if you have no systems in your business and funnel your projects through them. Yeah, I think that's what you meant. Right. Absolutely. Having a system is everything. Like, I've learned so much from just doing research and taking webinars and understanding what a funnel is for your business, understanding what having a system looks like is so key. Like, if you don't have that set up, doomsday. For real, doomsday. And I'm still working on my systems and trying to figure out what works best for my situation, and I'm adding people to my team as well, so it's kind of like, you know, things are changing, so you kind of have to adjust. So absolutely, systems for life. Definitely absolutely. Yep, absolutely. And then my home, we have structure. Like, I can't function if we don't have structure. With my kids, like, they can't function if they don't have structure. Like, their days look very similar. There's sometimes when we might go to the museum, like on Thursdays. So we've been kind of convincing our son to do, to finish his homework by Thursday, because normally he'll finish by Friday. We're like, all right, if you finish your homework by Thursday, then we can take you to the museum. And he's been doing it. Like, he loves the museum, so he's like, I'm gonna work hard and get it done. And he's been killing it. Like, the boy loves math, and he's doing so much better with his reading and writing and stuff like that. So he's been but like, we have to have a system in place where, all right, you come home, start on your homework, we start on, dinner, whatever. Like, that's how it goes. It's kind of like a routine. But having a good foundation is key. But yeah, anybody else struggle, or do y'all have systems in place for life, for your business? And if you do, share them with us. Because I think we all can, make our systems better, or, just how we're doing life in general. There's always something we can be doing better. Let's do better. Hashtag let's do better. No, yes, no. If not, I can, I'm gonna be logging out soon so I can finish my lunch, because I haven't yet. I don't know if y'all caught that, but I was saying, not horchata. I don't do chaos. Oh, I know you don't do chaos. What about systems, Octavius? You're not necessarily the most structured person. Well, that's what I mean, right? You're not necessarily the most structured, it has to be this way. However, there has to be some kind of order. There has to be an order to what is happening. It's like, if I don't understand what's happening, I'm not doing it. If it's messy, I can't bring it in unless it's in order. Exactly. Anyway, I don't have that much else to say, guys. I just wanted to, let y'all know that I'm just, if you're a millennial, so I'll stop it right away, right? If you're a millennial, you're a creative, entrepreneur, married, got 5 things on your plate, you got 2 businesses, whatever. You got a lot going on, just take some time to prioritize your life and don't kill yourself. Don't stress yourself out. Having order will eliminate stress. You can pick and choose. When you know what your structure or what your, priorities are and what your day is looking like or your week is supposed to look like. You've got it scheduled. You have it on the listen, the calendar, y'all. When I'm on point with my calendar, it's so great. When I'm not, it's so bad. It's so bad. Like, I'll be like, what am I doing? I just have to, like, it's a must that I have, like, my calendar, like my week written out on the calendar. Also be okay with not being okay with. Exactly, that too. Definitely. Listen, don't beat yourself up. Don't stress yourself out, because it's going to happen. You're human. Like, nobody's ever going to have it together completely. If stuff is not right, you can say no. Exactly. I just know for me, like, winging it is not the best way to go about. Get it wrong the right way. Yeah. Winging it, I mean, I'm used to winging it, but that's not ideal. Exactly. You got to learn from your mistakes. Having order, having structure, being able to prioritize what is going on in your life, in your business, whatever, and every area of life is so key. So key. So anyway, I'm off this. I'm out to eat. I have like a plate full of food and have a podcast. So guys, I really want to do a podcast, but I have zero equipment and zero money for equipment. So I'm working on that. I'm considering doing some kind of fundraising situation, so I can do a podcast and not just do it by myself, but do it with my brother Octavius, who is my fake sibling. He's not my real brother, but he's my fake sibling. But we're like brother and sister from different mother and father. But just trying to, just wanting to help people and just talk about like real life stuff that y'all can relate to, and bring some kind of discussion, like open discussion about things, because I think there's just a lot of stuff that people just don't talk about, and we always talk about it but just amongst ourselves and our spouses. So yeah, I mean, some stuff, of course should stay, but there's some really important things that I think we should openly discuss. So I'm trying to get that popping. Don't know when or how yet, but pray with me. Pray with me, guys, so we can kind of figure out how we can make that work. Anyway, I'm off this.